What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to give you guys a quick market update. I want to talk about kind of what I'm expecting here in the short term for Bitcoin. We'll jump on over to the higher time frames. I'll give you guys my overall thoughts on the market here, and then we'll jump down to those lower time frames. I want to show you a local volume profile that I'm looking at and actively trading with the premium Discord. So I want you guys to be aware of these levels if you're looking for trades, and if not, like I said, I will cover those higher time frames just to give you an overall thought of where those real key levels to the downside are. And if we see a bigger drop to the downside, I know there are some bearish signals on the higher time frames. I got a few questions about those on the live stream last night. I'll go over those, give you my thoughts, and what I think it means for the future of Bitcoin moving into 2025. So without further ado, Mafia, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart, and I know that Bitcoin has been absolutely brutal. A lot of people have been feeling the pain ever since we started our drop from the top here at about $108,450. This has been an absolute brutal downtrend for a lot of people. However, if you just zoom out a little bit, guys, we are in a massive uptrend here on the higher time frames. A lot of people found this 7-month range or 7-month downtrend really very, very brutal for Bitcoin. A lot of people were asking me, Frankie, is this the bear market? In which case I answered, guys, listen, based off the 4-year cycle, we are very likely not in a bear market, right? And even from a technical perspective, no major structure was broken here. This was just a long consolidation period before we wound up breaking the all-time highs. And I know these downtrends can feel very brutal, but when you zoom out, guys, we are very much in a massive uptrend. Now, this does not mean that 108,000 definitely wasn't the top, but as of right now, from a chart perspective, in my opinion, this is just a small correction, which we do oftentimes see in bull markets. Even bigger corrections than we're seeing right now are somewhat normal in a bull market. It's not just up only, giant green candles forever. You have to have those ebbs and flows in the market. This was a very exciting period for Bitcoin, followed by 7 months of absolute brutality, before then finally seeing that next big move to the upside. You have to be willing to endure these pullbacks, especially if you're in crypto. These pullbacks are really not uncommon. So just to put some people's minds at ease here, I do want to jump down to the lower time frames here real quick. This is the major volume profile that I am personally watching. Now I have extended this all the way to the right as we are just kind of bing-bonging around in this range. I do consider this an area of balance, so I have extended that volume profile all the way to the right, which makes us look for shorts at the highs or deviations above that value area high, and then we look for longs as we approach these lower zones towards the value area low. Now I am still holding my short from about $106,000 over here on Femex. This is still up very similarly to yesterday, up about $3,800 unrealized, still have $1,600 locked in. Now I am holding this in case we do see the bigger drop to the downside, which I will touch on in just a second. We have some of those bearish confirmations on the higher time frames, which could cause a little bit more of a bleed here for Bitcoin, and I want to be able to capitalize on that. So I am going to continue to hold this short position. However, this short is in the context of the volume profile. We took this short over here above the value area high in anticipation of potentially returning back into the range, and once we get accepted back into this range, we look to come to the POC and then eventually work our way back down to this value area low, which is somewhat of a zone, because not only do we have the value area low down there, but we do also have this tap daily naked point of control, which has been very, very nice support so far. And these daily naked points of controls, guys, are super strong levels that I love to trade off of. So this zone is the daily naked point of control value area low, and this is typically the zone where we're looking for long positions, and I actually have taken a scalp long position down here with the premium Discord, so I am now in a pretty nice position. Whether we wind up breaking to the downside or getting a bigger break up, I am in a short and a long, and again, that short does have some profit locked in. Now, the long position was entered here at about $92,803. This is now about $1,200 in profit. We entered this yesterday in the premium Discord. In our premium live stream, we were waiting for price to hopefully come down to this golden pocket 786 retracement, where we did have some confluence with our Lux Algo Smart Trail. You can see it in blue right here, and we were waiting for that Fibonacci retracement into the golden pocket 786, where we had some very specific confirmations we were looking for to take a little bit of a risky scalp long position in case we were going to hold this Fibonacci retracement as a higher low, which we know oftentimes comes in at the golden pocket 786 zone. And when you have that Lux Algo Smart Trail coming through as well, it adds a beautiful level of confluence. So I went ahead and took that position of about $1,200. I'm actually going to lock in some profits here right after this video, because there is a possibility, like I said, we're going to take a look at these higher time frames. We could potentially continue down based off of some of these higher time frames. I'm going to give you guys my overall thoughts on what I think about this signal. Is it the end of the bull market? I'll just spoil the surprise right now. I am not necessarily in that camp right now. However, things could potentially get ugly pretty quick if we start losing some key levels. So I'm going to show those in a second as well, but I'm going to go ahead and hold this. Like I said, lock in some profits in just a minute, but this is still going to remain our overall range, guys. You know, we could remain somewhat range bound here for a little while. I don't think we're really going to see anything too exciting, at least to the upside, until next year, which is obviously starting tomorrow. So happy New Year's to everybody out there. But you can see as we got that bounce off this daily naked point of control, we came up and we actually rejected another daily naked point of control, which are some really, really beautiful levels to take some trades off of. These are some of the strongest levels that I like to trade. And if you guys want to learn how to get these on your chart, I did just make a tutorial video. I'll drop a card above so you guys can check that out after this update. But overall, the higher time frames remain exactly the same, guys. We came to the value area low. We're getting a little bounce. We were able to capitalize on that with a nice little scalp long position in the premium. However, the key levels remain the same, guys. If we do wind up losing this range in a very big way and we cannot get accepted back in, we could potentially come down to our next major level sitting between $80,000 and $82,000, where we have a very important golden pocket retracement in confluence with two more daily naked points of controls. So you can bet your bottom dollar if we come down there with bullish confirmations, I will be looking for long positions, whether that's a short-term long before putting in a lower high and continuing down to some lower prices, which could lead us down to about $77,000 to $74,000. But we're very far away from there, so I don't want to cover those levels too much. I went over those yesterday. If you want to watch the market update from yesterday to get some more information on these, you totally can. In all realness, guys, if we did get a move down here, this really wouldn't be totally out of the question for a bull market. This would only really be a 25 to 26% correction from the actual all-time high, which is not uncommon to see in a bull market before loading up for new massive all-time highs. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I just want you guys to have these levels on your chart. But for now, I want to cover these local levels and talk to you guys about the actual ranges that I've been trading with the CandleMafia in the premium Discord. So I'm going to go ahead and hide our main range here. I'll even turn off these daily naked points of controls, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up our local range. And we're going to come down here to the 30-minute time frame. This is really the context I was looking at for that scalp long position. We came up, we retested that value area low as resistance, got the pullback into that golden pocket smart trail confluence that I just went over. We got those bullish confirmations right into that smart trail Fibonacci retracement, and then we took the position in anticipation of potentially coming back up into this volume profile. We tried to get up in here, but we are currently rejecting a local 786. But if we could get back up in here and reclaim this value area low, the next key level that I will be looking at is going to be sitting at around $97,285, where we have the POC of this local range. So we came up, tested that 786, got the pullback, but if we can get back in this range, guys, I'm going to hide this Fibonacci retracement. This is the level to break, right? $94,915. If we can get back up in here, it would potentially open the door to come crack that 786 and come up into our next key level, where we have our point of control sitting at $97,284. Now, this is also confluent with an anchored VWAP pulled all the way from the all-time high. These are typically very strong levels. You can see we actually caught a nice short position here in the premium Discord off this anchored VWAP, as well as some other confluence we had up there. But at the end of the day, guys, these are just range trades. We take the short down to the POC value area low. Once we deviate below the low, we look for our long positions to hopefully get back into the range and ride this thing back up to the high. However, as I just mentioned, we are rejecting a local 786. And if we are going to continue this downtrend here, that 786 could be a level that we put that lower high in at, in which case I will stop out of my long in profit. As long as it doesn't happen while I'm recording this video, I will get stopped out in profit and my bigger short position will continue to pay me out. But these are the local levels. Value area low sitting at $94,900, POC at $97,284, again in confluence with that anchored VWAP. And then if we can get above that zone, I will be looking for price to come up to about $98,922, which is simply the value area high of the range. Now, another level of confluence we have up here at the POC is going to be that weekly naked point of control coming in at about $97,462. So this will be somewhat of a range. So I will mark that out as resistance. And if we go ahead and pull our Fibonacci retracement from this local high all the way to the low, you can see the golden pocket comes somewhat confluent with that POC. It's a little bit of a bigger zone. I'd really like to see that POC tapped. The confluence here on the anchored VWAP is absolutely beautiful. But the reason I am looking at these Fibonacci retracements is because we know, guys, if we are going to get a lower high and a continuation down, these golden pocket 786 retracements are very likely going to be the zones that the lower highs come in at. So if we can get back into this range, we could potentially wiggle our way back up to this POC. You have to be aware of that golden pocket, but for the most part, POC, weekly naked point of control, and anchored VWAP is the zone I will be watching. Now, if we pull up Market Cypher B, one of the things we were looking at in the premium Discord was the 30-minute money flow crossover into the green, happening at the same time as we got our 8-hour green dot, which has just recently confirmed. So if we could see that money flow stay in the green, that's our best bet of continuing through that range. So that is going to be something something I am going to be watching, right? Even the 24-minute money flow, if we can get that VWAP to come back up, get that money flow back into the green, reclaim that value area low, that's our doorway to potentially see a continuation up. However, if we cannot get that, the rejection of this daily naked point of control could potentially push us lower, which very simply put would make me turn off my local range and turn on our major range, where we will be looking for the next major key level, not a scalp level, but more of a major key level, sitting down at about $90,500, where we have the value area low, as well as a very important 786 Fibonacci retracement, and we even have a daily horizontal sitting down here at 89,874 as well. So as far as Market Cipher B goes, guys, you have the 8-hour green dot confirmed, 30-minute money flow crossover into the green. We also have our 16-hour green dot that just confirmed, with our 1-hour money flow attempting to cross into the green here, guys. Money flow has been very choppy lately. Typically, these are very strong signals, but you could just see oftentimes here lately, we've come into the green, back into the red, tried to go back into the green, back into the red, tried to come into the green. Now we're back in the red. So things are a bit choppy here, and that's why I am scalping these lower time frames, just catching these nice little scalps to the upside while holding my longer short position from $106,000. But in this choppy trading environment, guys, I am really not putting a whole lot of weight on the indicators. I am really just trading things level to level with confirmations, using those volume profiles. So those are the key levels that I'm watching. If you're out there scalping the low time frames, you can go ahead and grab this range, put it on your chart. You can grab these levels on the side here. That's your local context. If we wind up losing this value area low in a bigger way, I'm simply looking at that larger range. And then once we start, breaking down out of this range, that's where I would get a little bit more concerned, looking for that bigger drop down to about $82,000. Now, one other thing to realize here, guys, is that I've gotten a lot of questions about this. We do have our weekly bearish divergence, which is printing here, obviously on the weekly time frame. And a lot of people are getting pretty concerned about this, where we have our higher highs on our price action, lower highs on our momentum waves. This is technically a bearish divergence. We don't typically see the top of a Bitcoin cycle come in during our halving year, so that would totally shatter that 4-year cycle theory. However, it is something I'm keeping in mind as somewhat of a bearish scenario. Although I wouldn't expect this to be the actual top of the bull market just based off of the 4-year cycle, it could easily continue us down to see that $82,000 level where we have our golden pocket. And if we did see that come in, guys, I would not be looking at that as the end of the bull market. We could easily come into that golden pocket retracement before putting in a massive higher low and continuing to the upside. Unfortunately, it can't be green candles to the upside forever. You have to get those little retracements. A lot of people thought this was a bear market, in which case we were saying during a 4-year cycle, you don't typically see the top come in at this point of where we are in the cycle timing wise. And it's kind of the same thing here. That weekly bear div could potentially pull us down into this zone, but that would not be the end of the bear market in my opinion. If we start losing the 786 at about 74,000, that's a little bit more worrisome in my opinion, but we're very far away from that, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Until then, we're going to keep crushing these local scalps with the premium Discord, holding that long position down from about 92,800, and I'm also going to hold my short position here. So I am in a little bit of a cushy position. So if you're scared out there, hopefully these levels give you some peace of mind, and you guys at least know kind of how I'm handling this price action, and not only that, but how I'm profiting off of this chop, guys. Just because Bitcoin's going down does not mean that we can't make money, and that's the beautiful thing about being a trader. So with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for today's market update. I just wanted to drop this quick update. Although there's not many new levels on the chart, I wanted to show you those local ranges that we're trading and how me and the Candle Mafia in the premium Discord are capitalizing on these moves. So have a great New Year's Eve out there, guys. Be safe, and I will see you on the live stream at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if not, I'll see you guys in 2025. I love each and every single one of you, and that's all the time I got for today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Go. At the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide.